Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to Talking Reds, where we bring the latest Liverpool news and transfer news and much more. So breaking news came out last night. Breaking news, according to Anfield Wrap, Rob Gutman from Anfield Wrap said that Isak's agent was at Anfield last night for the Liverpool Bilbao game, in which Liverpool won 3-2 obviously in the second game and 4-1 in the first game. But Isak's agent at Anfield, wow, what a moment in this saga. Is this a confirmation that Alexander Isak will be joining Liverpool? I wonder what Newcastle fans think about this, because it's come from not for sale now to Isak's agent coming to watch Liverpool at Anfield. Obviously, if he's there, that means he is speaking to obviously Richard Hughes, Michael Woods, whoever's in charge of the situation. He will be pushing his agents, his clients' move to Liverpool. That is what the reports that we used yesterday. Isak and his agent are pushing for a move to Liverpool. Isak's agent being at Anfield is a massive statement, not just in this saga, but it's a massive statement in football in a whole. Like imagine your club trying to keep their best player, trying to keep their main striker, and you see their agent at another club's. You're not going to be particularly happy. I don't think Newcastle will be happy about this if the report is true, and Newcastle fans certainly won't be happy about it. But I think it is going to be the conclusion of Isak going to be joining Liverpool at this point. I can't see another outcome right now, guys. I really can't see another outcome in this scenario. It's surely all leading to now Isak joining Liverpool. It really is. And obviously more breaking news came out last night as well regarding Sesco, regarding Newcastle. So according to Greg Hope, also the Northeast journalist for Newcastle, did break that Sesco is willing to join Newcastle, because there was news around Sesco, whether he's going to join Newcastle or he's going to join Manchester United. It sort of leaned towards Manchester United at the point. Newcastle had a bid turned down. Man United are willing to put that bid in as well, but Newcastle are actually willing to put more money in. And this, as I said the other day, could scupper Man United's chances, because they are wanting him to get him as cheap as they possibly can, because they can't really afford as much as a Newcastle, because we at the end of the day, if we give Newcastle the money for Isak, that allows them to spend up to over 200 million this summer, which is a massive moment, because it gives Newcastle absolute advantage in the Sesco race, because they can outspend Manchester United. However, it looked pretty much like Sesco was going to join Manchester United until obviously that came out last night, where he's willing to join Newcastle now, according to Craig Hope. More on it as well. So Newcastle have made an improved bid for Benjamin Sesko, according to David Ornstein. That bid, so Newcastle now willing to offer 80 million euros guaranteed plus 10 million in add-ons for Sesko. Newcastle are pushing hard and increasing the intensity, but the player has yet to make a decision. Man United remain keen, but both clubs are battling for his signature. That is according to Florian Plettenberg. So they are willing to bid higher Newcastle now. How big is this in terms of Liverpool, in terms of Alexander Isak? It's huge. It's absolutely huge, because if Newcastle land Benjamin Sesko, that for me opens the door fully for Alexander Isak to join Liverpool. It absolutely does. And once that is done, once that Sesco deal is done, if it is done, this is all hopes and ifs right now, because right now we don't know if he still wants Manchester United. Still don't know if he's going to go to Newcastle. But like I said, if Newcastle outbid Manchester United, then he might not have any other option if Leipzig don't accept Manchester United's bids. But at the end of the day, it's up to Sesco. If he wants to go to Manchester United, maybe he speaks to Leipzig and say, "Look, can you accept the lower offer?" But that's all we can hope for right now, Liverpool fans. That's all we can hope for right now. Hopefully, Sesko chooses the right destination in our minds, which will be Newcastle, allowing then the door to open for Alexander Isak. But yeah, the massive news last night about Isak's agent. Who saw that coming? I certainly didn't. I mean, like I said, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming at that. I think Newcastle as a club would be fuming at that. But like I said, the report yesterday, we said it last night on last night's stream, that Newcastle and his agent are pushing a move to Liverpool. And what better way to show that you're pushing than being at the club itself? I mean, that's absolutely unbelievable. That was a content Anfield Wrap. So brilliant exclusive by Anfield Wrap, by the way, to get that out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, this has gone out live. I'm not live. I'm just recording it before it does go live. But yeah, still get your comments in. I will be in the comments for the procedure of this stream as well. So make sure you get your comments in on Isak. Let me know your thoughts on Sesco. Do you think he's going to join Newcastle or Manchester United? Fingers crossed it is Manchester United. I think this week, the next 48 hours, is absolutely crucial. That last night with Isak's agent going to Anfield could be like a moment in the saga which pretty much confirms the answer. And I said the other night, look, we're going to get an answer now. In the next week or so, we're going to get an answer. Newcastle need an answer, Liverpool need an answer, and so does Isak. And the answer is you're either staying or you're going. We need an answer. This uncertainty, it doesn't help anyone at the moment. It doesn't certainly help Newcastle. They've got plans themselves. They need to get on with the season. Need to get on with the pre-season. Need to get some transfers in. They've got Elanga in. Did they get Ramsdale in? I think. But they need to improve. They need 2 strikers. They need to improve the midfield and depth in defence as well. So they've got a lot of transfer business to do in just over 3 weeks left of the transfer window. Just under 4 weeks left of the transfer window. So they've got a lot of stuff to do. Us as well. We really need, if our number one target is Isak, we need to get Isak in ASAP. We've got games coming up. Obviously, we've got Crystal Palace now in the Community Shield on Sunday. Then we've got Bournemouth in the Premier League at home on Friday, which is the first game of the season. Then we've got Newcastle away on the 25th, on the Monday 25th. So we need to get him in so he can play these games, because he's not going to be playing against Palace, because I've said it before, this guy's not had pre-season matches, so he's not match fit yet, really. He's had individual training. He's not even had team training yet. So hopefully he does play this weekend, potentially for Newcastle. Not for Newcastle's sake, not for him to stay, but for him to get match fit for us. That's mad, isn't it? That's really mad. Newcastle, please play him so he can get match fit for us. That sounds crazy. But that could be the scenario right now. That literally could be the scenario right now. He does need to get some minutes under his belt, and the longer he gets, the better for us. So I think Jonathan last night said, shout out to Jonathan, who's our regular Newcastle fan. He said last night in the stream that we have a game on Friday and every game on Saturday. So I expect Alexander Isak to play some minutes in either of those. I don't think it'll be both of those, but either of those. And that's a step closer then for him to be match fit. Will he play Palace? I don't think the deal will be quick enough for Palace. I said the deal will be finished on the 12th of August, which is next Tuesday. Funnily enough, it's next Tuesday. So a week today, I said that could be official. So it could be in for the Bournemouth game, technically, if it is next Tuesday. That's just my guess, by the way. I don't know anything. I do not know anything. I'm not going to be one of these people that are trying to spoof and trying to act like they know something, but I'm not going to be that person. I certainly don't know anything. But I said my personal opinion, I think it could be done on the 12th of August officially by the club. But having said that, even if he came in on 12th of August or next week, anytime next week at all, he could be available for the squad against Bournemouth, but I don't think he starts. Like I said, because of the minutes that he hasn't played, the pre-season he hasn't turned up to, the matches he hasn't arrived to, I don't think he plays those. And I'm now even thinking now, because there's such little time left, there's such little pre-season left and matches to play, he might not even fully match fit to play the game against Newcastle in terms of starting. He'll be on the bench against Bournemouth if he gets in time for Bournemouth. He'll be on the bench against Newcastle. But starting games, when you haven't had any matches really, he'll have one match under his belt, potentially this weekend for Newcastle. And then if he comes off the bench against Bournemouth, then he'll have that as well. Is that enough for him to start against Newcastle on the 25th of August? I hope so. It'd be a risk. But like I said, he needs to get some game time. And I think that's one of the main reasons why he's really gone back to Newcastle. I think he's looked at himself and thought, you know what? I actually need to play some football. Because like I said, individual training is completely different to team training, number one, and then team training is completely different to matches. So he needs to be playing minutes. And right now, going back to Newcastle is probably the right thing to do. I was surprised that Isak. I don't agree with him going AWOL. I wouldn't like it if that was our player going AWOL. But I get the frustrations from him. I also understand why if Newcastle have broken promises, then he's got to do all he can to push for the move without handing a transfer request. He's still not handed the transfer request in, by the way, guys. He's still not handed the transfer. He's done everything else but hand the transfer request in. Maybe that's a way of trying to leave it a bit respectfully. But I think there's, like I said it last night, there's too much water under the bridge. Too much has gone on. Too many bridges have been burnt for this deal not to happen now for me. I think Isak will be a Liverpool player at the end of the window. I really do. It's too much has happened for me. But yeah, also the breaking news last night was obviously Isak's agent was at Anfield, according to reports. Gone to Anfield Wrap, so shout out to the Anfield Wrap for that exclusive. And then after that, Ornstein, Plettenberg all came out about the Sesco deal. Newcastle are willing to pay more for the Sesco deal, and hopefully that outprices Manchester United in a move for him. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Newcastle fans, we are right behind you right now. We are right behind you, Newcastle. Get Sesco. We are cheering you on. In fact, even more so when it's against Manchester United as well. I mean, what a perfect scenario that would be. What a perfect ending to that it would be with Isak joining Liverpool, Sesco, if it's kind of Visser as well, joining Newcastle, and Manchester United not getting their target. It's absolutely ideal for me. Absolutely ideal. I will not be complaining one bit. However, Liverpool, we do need a centre-back. We have to get centre-back. That's not a negotiation. We have to get a centre-back. If we don't get a centre-back, we are in big trouble. I can assure you that. But yeah, so if you have just joined us, make sure you do get your comments in, because we are, well, the show's technically live, but I'm not live. I've just pre-recorded and set it as a premiere, so you guys can get in the chat. I'm in the chat as well. If you see me in the chat, let me know your thoughts on the situation. Do you think Isak will be a Liverpool player at the end of the window? My personal opinion, yes. I am going to go up to I've been on 60%. That's most I've ever gone to in this situation, but I think I'm on 80% now, guys. Isak's agent going to Anfield is a madness. Don't get me wrong, but for me, that's a confirmation of they are really trying to push for this. You can read reports, you can believe whatever reports you want. Also, the report yesterday was that they are trying to push for the move. Craig Hope said that, and him going to Anfield tells you that already. Actions speak louder than words, if that makes sense. And right now, Isak's agent being at Anfield backs up the report of them trying to push a move from Anfield to Liverpool. It really does. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you do hit that like button, guys. It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds to hit that like button. And subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you haven't subscribed, where have you been? Where have you been? We are 1.2 subscribers now. 1.2k subscribers. And we're on the road to 1.5k. We want to grow this channel as big as we can to give you better content. I've always said, bigger the channel, better the content. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you do join us again live at 7 o'clock later on. I will be live at myself at 7 o'clock later on for all the latest Liverpool news. So join us later on. Have a good day, guys. I'll speak to you all later.